Estamos aqui com ALAIN CARON, lenda do contrabaixo, o BaixoNatural.com. So, thank you for the interview, and let's get started.
I met some very good musicians, very good. Obviously, I'm sorry I don't remember all the names. I have a bad memory anyway, but I heard, obviously I heard a lot of bass players because all the events I'm going to are bass event. I heard Thiago, very good bass players, very good. Sorry I don't remember the other names, but I heard some very good. And in general, I really like the vibe of Brazilian people. They're very warm, very friendly. I took a lot of pictures. Well, it's quite a long one because I started playing music when I was very young. You know, I come from a musical family, not professional but amateur. Especially my mother used to play piano, violin, and guitar. All my brothers and sisters were playing instruments, but I was the one to take it a little more seriously. So I started playing in bands when I was 11 years old. I was playing guitar, I was playing a bit of drums. And then I started playing bass right away because one of the members of the group was a bass player. So he taught me how to play the bass. And I fell in love with the instruments right away. And I first discovered jazz when I was 14 years old with Oscar Peterson record with Ray Brown on bass. So I fell in love with that when I was around 14 years old. And at that age, I left home, and I've been on the road since. So I've been playing a lot of music. I'm 59 years old, so you can imagine I've been doing a lot of traveling and playing. As bass players, the first bass player who really influenced me and struck me is Ray Brown. When I heard Ray Brown, that really opened my mind. I said, oh, this is a different way of playing the bass. And then I've listened obviously to Scott LaFaro with Bill Evans, and then Eddie Gomez, and all these bass players that, mainly upright bass players. And then when I discover Alfonso Johnson playing, I really enjoyed the way he was playing. And then Stanley Clarke, obviously. And then when Jaco came in on the planet, there was. But mainly I would say Ray Brown and Scott LaFaro are two big influences on me. I love it. I'm not a specialist of Brazilian music, obviously, but I've listened to a lot of. I'm a big fan of Ivan Lins. I've listened also to Javan, and then obviously Carlos Jobim and all that. But I've listened to other music, which I don't know the composer because I either heard it on radio or someone else's car. But I really like Brazilian music for two things. It's always very warm, it always has a very interesting groove, but two most important things, very nice harmony, and always a very beautiful melodies. Brazilian music is based on melodies and harmony, and I really like it. Because I'm a big fan of harmony and melodies. The melody can be very complex, but it has to be singable. And then Brazilian music definitely has this huge quality. I love it. Of course I have to practice. The more I understand music, the more I see that has so many things to do. So many things to do. First of all, just to stay in shape, the connection of the brain, you know, to be able to improvise and think fast. But the language of music, there's so many things still that can be done. So obviously I still practice. I was practicing this morning. I should go back and practice. Well, music is growing. You know, music it's not static, it moves forward. For example, the tenor saxophone was not a solo instrument when it was invented. It was an orchestral instrument. And then you see now, the tenor saxophone is like a lead instrument, it's like a voice. I'm not saying that the bass itself should become a solo instrument, although why not? The role of the bass is still to support the harmony, the fundamental, and the basic of the groove. But why not play the bass as a solo instrument why not? Music is open. I'm very open-minded. So thanks to a bass player like Slam Stewart, Ray Brown, Scott LaFaro, and then Eddie Gomez, and Neil Orson Peterson, and all these new younger bass players like obviously Jaco Pastorius, Stanley Clark. These guys opened the doors for the bass players and really opened new way of playing for the bass player, which is not only only to support the others. Bass players now are full members of the group, and then they can carry the voice from time to time. What I'm saying, the voice, sometimes the bass player can play the melody, and then other instruments accompany, play behind it. Obviously, personally, I like playing the bass. I like the role of the instrument, playing the basic of the groove, and then playing the fundamental. But I also like to play the melodies. 6-string for sure. Why to have more register? First of all, the high string, because I want to play, the role of the soloist. And then it's just a matter of range. Some lines, they don't sound right if it's too low. The extension of the chords, you don't hear them correctly if they're played too low. So that's why I have a higher register. It's closer to the human voice as well. And the lower strings, because remember Gino Vanelli?
Yeah.
Remember that? He was one of the first group and first artists to use synthesizer to play bass lines. And when I first heard these records, I heard like low C and low D and low B's at the low register. I said, wow, I want it. So right away I asked a luthier to build me a 5-string with a low B and then a 5-string with a high C. And then the next thing I said, I need both. Then I've been playing 6 strings like for more than 30 years. No, nothing really different than what I've been doing, but just keep improving, write better music, more mature music, more intelligent, travel the world, play my music for everybody. I teach also, I do a lot of clinics, so I like to spread the word, and I have different projects also that I want to do. I have a couple of concerts coming up with a string quartet and a piano. So this is something I want to do, record different formation like strings, and then keep improving.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.